Welcome back to the show, everybody. Let's take a look at the numbers while we run the headlines here. 105 million XRP, Elon Musk, FTX, and Visa. And the BSC paused or halted. We're going to talk about that. What's next up for the Ripple court case? We'll talk about that. Stuart Alderoty's in the news. We got one influencer asking if 10,000 XRP will make you rich, while another one's talking about something we've talked about for years on this channel. Is XRP a stable coin? It's starting to spread, ladies and gentlemen. And how about a $13 to $27 XRP? We got one technical analyst that says, here's why we haven't had it. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook at the top of the screen here. And we are sitting right now at 994 billion plus for the crypto market cap. Download that Coin Paprika app, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Bitcoin 19,700 plus, Ethereum is 1,300 plus. XRP holding that number 6 spot down at 48 cents. We crossed 50 cents yesterday, but it pulled back, obviously. And right here, you can go to Ledger, download Ledger Live on your phone, have all your crypto bought from the exchange inside of Ledger Live, and then put it directly on your cold storage. And by the way, they're always running great specials. Click the link underneath the video. 105 million XRP moved by unknown wallets. You know, just when I see this, and I know you guys know this, but I want to say this. There's a lot of new people coming in the show every day, but I want to remind people, my speculation, when I see this much moving around, I contribute that to on-demand liquidity somewhere along the line. At least the majority of it. That's how I see it. And that makes me comfortable, because what I start to think then is that maybe ODL is the price driver of XRP more than retail, which would be fantastic in my eyes. I'll take use case driving price over retail speculation any day of the week. Elon Musk looking to buy Twitter for the agreed upon price, looking to back out of that stay or put a stay in on the lawsuit. We'll keep you up to date if he does it. If he does, I certainly hope he gets the bots rectified on this platform. Good gracious. And stop the censorship. You know, that'd be a great place to start, Elon. FTX partners with Visa for crypto payments in 40 nations. Does anybody think crypto's going away at this point? Because I know they're trying to make us feel like that. Due to irregular activity, we're temporarily pausing BSC, which I understand to be Binance Smart Chain. Is that correct, everybody? I think it is. We apologize for the inconvenience and will provide further updates here. Thank you for your patience and understanding. You know, I don't know what's going on here, but it says to confirm we have suspended BSC after having determined a potential exploit. All systems are now contained, and we are immediately investigating the potential vulnerability. We know the community will assist and help freeze any transfers. All funds are safe, they say. We want to thank all node service providers for their quick and attentive response. A huge thank you to the following, and it names everybody there. So all the parties included. So, you know, it's funny because I don't know what to make of that, but, you know, I find it awful timely in the world of trying to talk about legislation and what we're going to need to have, decentralization versus centralization and things of that nature. We'll see if that becomes more of a topic, but I hope that they have rectified the situation. Jeremy Hogan reminds one person and all of us what to look out for next when it comes to the Ripple case, ladies and gentlemen. It is October 19th, just 12 days away, which is the deadline to move for reconsideration. That's what we need to keep an eye out on and see what we get there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And in the meantime, Stuart Alderoty's out here running around, and we like what he's saying. Ripple's defense and SEC lawsuit might be crypto's best chance. You know, if we get into this very quickly here, He says, thanks to Nikki Kristoff for having him on that podcast. Was great chatting with you on generational changing promise of blockchain and crypto technology. All things Ripple, the need for greater regulatory clarity, and even Beanie Babies. One of the things that he mentioned in this podcast that was fantastic right towards the end is when he talked about, being able to really be a part of this new birth of the next iteration of the internet, basically. I'm paraphrasing. But it is exciting, right? It is exciting because I do believe that the protocol layer XRP ledger is going to be a foundational element of the next fourth industrial revolution, the next iteration of the Internet of Value. I really do believe that. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to pay the price for being wrong, and I'll make the video. You know that. Here we see a quick clip from DAI here. Shout out to him for this. Take a listen to this right here.
You have recently filed a motion for summary judgment, which means you're trying to get the court to toss the case against you by the SEC. Just based on what you said on its face, the law applies in a certain way. If this is successful, the motion for summary judgment, that's a huge win for the industry because it does give some clarity.
I'm going to repeat what you said. It's a huge win for the industry because it finally gives clarity to the industry about what the limits of the SEC's jurisdiction are. And the SEC, I think, will be exposed for, again, not looking to faithfully apply the law, but what they're doing is looking to remake the law. And I go back to what I said earlier. An agency can't remake the law. Only the legislature can remake the law.
Yes.
And it's such a great point. And I know it's obvious to a lot of us, but I do want to add to that the point that where's Congress at? Why is it okay for them to not do their job? They need to get out here and get this legislative clarity to put all the agencies back in their respective lane. Why should a private company have to spend $100 million in legal fees to prove the essential foundational basic law legal point that there is no investment contract? Forcing a company to spend $100 million in defense, and to be truthful, every delay that's happened in this case, if I'm not mistaken, has been from the plaintiff, the SEC, the people who spent 8 years waiting to bring this case. Something very wrong there. There's something very wrong here, too. This is Lark Davis. He asked the question here, can 10,000 XRP make you rich? Listen to this very quickly, please.
Can 10,000 XRP make you rich? Kind of. Maybe. Not really. Let me explain. You see, XRP did make a lot of people rich in 2017. It went from half a cent to $3.40. Insane gains. But XRP last bull run didn't really do much. Every other asset exploded to new all-time highs, put in massive gains, but XRP did not. The reason being that the SEC is suing Ripple, the parent company. That uncertainty has killed XRP's price. If they win the case, then XRP will probably moon, and while 10K XRP may not make you rich, it will make decent returns. But if they lose the case, say good night. Please subscribe for more awesome investing videos.
Okay, first of all, it's not awesome. And second of all, if you have to say it's awesome, you know it's really not awesome. Look, I'm not here. I don't tell people how many whatever you need to hold, okay? So that's already bad right from the jump. But here's what I'll say is this. Look, Microsoft was sued by SEC. Tesla was sued by SEC, right? Amazon was sued by the SEC. How they doing today? Pretty good. So I think it's really inept of him, and certainly short-sighted at best, to not understand that vetting process. There is a cost of entry to the system. There's also the legal definition of defining this asset before you can move a bunch of value across it. Then there's the idea if Ripple were to lose the case. Let's talk about that for a second. 95% of the customers that Ripple used and that are accessing and taking advantage of on-demand liquidity are outside of the United States. So as I tweeted above here, I really believe, and there's only one way to say this guy's really missed the plot, is where I've got it. But not this guy. No, not this guy. Shout out to Michael Branch for this. Give him a follow. This is Lulu right here, who's just been inspired. Light bulb moments coming on everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I love watching this guy's energy. You know, look, I don't know whether he knows it or not. He probably doesn't. But, you know, even before I was a YouTuber, I thought XRP would be a price set and then come to believe that it may even become a stable coin in order to do so, right? Or get a designation of it and then have a stable coin made off of it. Who knows? Either way, I think banks don't want to use something unless the price is set on the asset. Otherwise, they could just use gold that fluctuates every day. Take a listen here.
Something about XRP that's going to make you absolutely flip. And all it took was a little bit of research and joining some dots together. If you ask most people in the crypto community, what is a stablecoin, they will give you one of two answers. That is either USDT or USDC. And I'm here to say, ooh boy, you have no idea what the World Bank and the World Economic Forum define as a stablecoin. There are two tokens that they believe are stablecoins, and those are XRP and XLM. And that's not all. Acknowledging that they classify XRP and XLM as stablecoins, I mean, it's written in their documentation, the regulation that Biden is pushing for in a potential executive order is for freaking stablecoins.
This is exactly what I've been saying for a quite long time, and it's fun and exciting to watch him say it and for that light bulb moment to hit him. I know what that feels like. I had it happen back in 2017. It is an overwhelming feeling to really feel like that. And then obviously the years after being in here and being an influencer and then finding things like the World Bank report that does in fact say that, or the Bank of China, which suggested as well, report, which we covered here. Look, will it happen? We don't know, but it is true that the banks don't want to use something that's unstable, right? And think of this for a moment, because I put this video out the other day as well. Think of this for a moment. Imagine that XRP or Ripple win the case, or the case is thrown out based on the fact that the SEC had no right to bring it to begin with. And then imagine the Treasury giving it a stablecoin designation and wanting to use the asset. Just take that with you. Then imagine Gary Gensler actually getting to the U.S. Treasury because he has desires, they say, inside of his circles to be the next U.S. Treasurer. And apparently Janet Yellen must be planning on retiring, so maybe he plans on doing that for the last couple years of the Biden administration. I don't know. But I know that there's talk that say that. But if Gary were to end up at the U.S. Treasury and we were to see a stablecoin designation, Gary Gensler's going to be at the Treasury overseeing the XRP stablecoin. How's that grab you? This is the most fascinating thing I've ever followed in my life. But right now, what would you do if the case, let's say, is over and we had a fundamental moment of the case being thrown out, which would at least tell us the SEC has no jurisdiction over XRP? We may not know what the asset is at that point, but if the SEC rules to throw that case out, it says the SEC has no measure to tell Ripple what to do with XRP at all. Then we would see other entities come in, I believe, maybe Congress or certainly the Treasury and FSOC, as I've talked about multiple times. But with a moment like that, it would not be hard for me to believe that we could reach things like 13 or 27 bucks. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else, but I could see a fundamental break in the news and positive energy of just having that case thrown out that says, SEC, you're out of bounds. You have no right or recourse to regulate and speak to XRP whatsoever. And then we would just, I think it would be very good for the space, the whole crypto space, and certainly for Ripple and XRP going forward. And then I would expect to see a bunch of U.S. companies start to want to really get poised to come in. But, when you look at what this thread is about here, and I think I have it opened up right here. basically Eggrad Crypto, and shout out to him, says here, Bitcoin hit their fib 1618 line, right there. Ethereum hit their 1.414 line, right? But XRP should have, but it didn't because of price suppression. So that's where this talk about basically the 13 to 27 bucks comes from, right? Because between those two different fib lines, if XRP would have hit it without the suppression of the case, that's what we would be looking at, ladies and gentlemen. And seeing it and understanding it that way kind of makes me excited about the resolution of this case. I certainly believe, personally myself, XRP can serve 4 or 5 digits as a coin, certainly as a stable coin for the banking system. The question still remains, how will retail be treated with such a designation should it take place? That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'll catch all of you on the next one.